felt kind of good, just the respect I have for Michigan and Coach Beeline. It was exciting, but I was mainly trying to get the win with my team, but it was pretty good to go back at them.
For both you guys, what were the challenges that Michigan posed?
They shot pretty well today. I think we did bad on closing out on most of their shots, but yeah, they shot pretty well, and we didn't rebound well.
I agree. They shot the ball really well, ran their offense pretty good like a regular Michigan team. It was kind of a lid on the basket for us in the first half as well, so that played a big role in it, but they definitely played a good game.
For both of you gentlemen, what's your experience playing here at Little Caesars Arena first time?
It was exciting, just being in the arena where the Pistons play, Red Wings too. So it was very exciting. A lot of people came out. And, I enjoyed it. I think we all enjoyed it.
Yeah, I agree. It was definitely exciting, just being the first college teams to play in this arena, and it was definitely cool, seeing all the people and stuff like that and playing on the NBA court. So it was definitely cool to be playing here.
Turnover's a big factor. The 23 was the biggest thing you guys need to do to avoid that.
Just be patient. We over dribbled a lot in the first half. I think we had like 15 turnovers in the first half. And so coming in the second half, we emphasized, just being patient and moving the ball around. So I think that's going to come when, going into league play, just being patient and stuff like that. And I would feel the turnovers will cut down.
Again, Michigan's not known for its defense, but can you talk about what you saw from them and how they played defensively?
Yeah, they played us pretty good, like you said, Michigan did what they had to do to come out with the win, we struggled offensively as well, so, they did a pretty good job.
That's what positives can you tell this game? It's rough first half, obviously. What positives can you take forward when you play?
We won the second half. We played real good. We like you said, we emphasized on the turnovers. I think we took care of the ball well in the second half. It would have been better if we would have came out like that in the first.
Any more questions for the student athletes? I have Coach Alexander make a quick opening statement on the game.
Really excited that our Detroit Mercy team is able to be a part of this inaugural event here at Little Caesars Arena. Not the result that we hoped for, but one of the things that all four coaches recognize is the opportunity to bring college basketball to the city of Detroit. Not only is something that's great for the game and the sport itself, but also given all the different things that are looming after this event is particularly key. We're the host institution, Detroit Mercy, of the first and second rounds of the NCAA tournament. We're very excited about that. And this is also the home of the Horizon League's Motor City Madness for the next 3 years. We started our first 2 years at Joe Louis Arena, where Michigan and Detroit, coincidentally, were the first two teams to christen that court and open up that building and introduce college basketball to the city during that time. And we were able to do that again today. The last part of things for our student athletes that's particularly exciting is anytime that they get the opportunity to play against Michigan or Michigan State, it's a big deal. And the first half was indicative of that. All these young men, having been a former assistant there, I've been by their gymnasiums. I watched them play through evaluation. They all had dreams and aspirations of putting that Block M, jersey on. And so when you're out there and you're going against that particular opponent, I'm not going to suggest that they were starstruck. But when you add the beautiful confines of the space, the competition level that Michigan plays at, it's a situation where you can get a little bit distracted, by those, variables. So again, my hat's off to Tom Wilson and his team here at Olympia Entertainment and the job that they've done to bring all four institutions together. And so I couldn't be more pleased to be a participant, not only in this year, but we hope to continue this in years to come.
And Coach Jaleel, 4 points in 19 minutes. He looked gassed at times, visibly gassed. What has to be worked on to get him into better shape as the season goes along, into better playing condition?
Well, it's all about practice reps, okay? One of the things that is important for you to bring into focus for our guys, and I talked to Coach Beeline about this a little bit prior to the game, we just came out of finals week. So a lot of midnight oil's been burned, with guys, long hours this week. We had a couple lethargic practices earlier in the week, but they got better, as the week went into this preparation. It's going to be very key for Jalil to not only hydrate, get rest, but get the practice reps. But the challenge becomes on the team that I can play in upwards of 11 players to not only get him the reps he needs and extra conditioning outside of practice, but also get those other guys experience. Today provided that opportunity to get the Malik Eichlers on the floor, the Isaiah Joneses, et cetera. But when you've missed 6 months due to working your tail off academically, it's just a reality of the game that makes it very challenging to get in shape in season. NBA players can do it because there's 82 games there. College players can't do that because the regular season is typically 31 to 33 games, depending on the level you play at.
Coaching against your former teacher and John Beeline, what was that like for you?
It was fantastic. One of the things you got to understand from a scouting perspective is Michigan is not traditionally scoutable in the sense that everything that they do in their motion-based, read-based offense is audible-based. So every denial that you do, there's a counter to that, and it changes the play for the other 4 guys. And so that was a particularly interesting challenge for our guys. And it was interesting when Coach Kaler, who had the scout, was taking our scout team through the action. We had some difficulties guarding different wrinkles and stuff like that, as he was a member of the staff as well. So we knew it would be some challenges, but the fun part of it is you get to look at what Coach does as he evolves what he does based on personnel. And I'm not going to lie to you, there was a few sets that I saw that we will be stealing, going on into conference play.
How tough is it to stay with them when they're shooting threes the way they did in the first half? They had some guys who had been in slumps lately and kind of broke out of it today.
Without question, and again, when you look inside how they make threes, today we provided that opportunity, particularly in the first half. When they're able to shoot step-in threes versus runaway threes, you might hear Coach Beeline talk about the difference between the two. We used to preach that ad nauseum when I was learning under his leadership. Then they're pretty successful. I don't care if it's guys like Xavier Simpson. I don't care if it's guys that's been struggling with their stroke like Isaiah Livers. We all know what Duncan Robinson can do. But when you are allowed to catch the ball, find the seams, you're going to shoot them at a high clip. I just thought we overhelped at times, which put us in scramble situations defensively and gave them really clean looks as they spaced well and moved the ball around. But the other part of things, too, that's going to be important for us moving forward is understanding the importance of contesting shots. Generally speaking, percentages go down when you contest shots. I thought we were late or tape delayed on some of those rotations today, and it fed into their ability to have success, shooting the basketball, which percentage-wise was a little atypical tonight.
Like you said, your team, their players have just gone through exams, and they've also had some adversity. With Horizon League play around the corner, how ready are they for conference play?
I think when you start to shift the focus into conference play, we're just as formidable as anybody in what some would consider a down Horizon League talent-wise. We have length, we have size, we have guard play. What we're working on right now is discipline. I mean, at halftime, the directive was simple. Let's move the ball around. Let's make sure we set screens and make cuts that matter. And let's really play the game with a better sense of purpose. When you're out in a game like this, you have to now have games within the game. The first halftime score was what it was. What we did in the second half is said, let's control the glass better. Let's take care of the ball better. And when you look inside the second half percentages, we got a little bit more back to the numbers that you've been accustomed to seeing through 10 games, going into this one. But again, how do we take that 20 minutes and make it 40 is about maturity, it's about understanding, it's about focus, and it's about unselfishness as it relates to not only sticking to the game plan, but executing it as well.
Yeah, a lot of bad luck early with some in-and-out shots and stuff like that. But what do they do defensively that make things tough for you sometimes?
I think it's their length. One of the things that you have to always be mindful of when you're driving down the basket, and there's 7'1" John Teskey. When he put his arms up, he's 7'6". When he jumps, he might be 8 feet tall. So it's very difficult to see the rim. Also, I think they do a particularly good job of what we call in coach speak, building walls defensively. So when ball screens are there, the hedge man is there, the primary defender is doing his job, and the next zone-up guys are shrinking that court, not allowing you to get downhill. I think they do a good job to the degree that they can of blocking out as well. This Michigan defense is much different, as you know, statistically, as any year that John's been there under his tenure. This is a very disciplined group. They seem to be very connected. My hat's off to their staff, for getting them systemically, to the point where everything that they do seems to be in concert with one another. Guys are moving on a 15-foot rope, and opportunities were very sparse.
Kai, do you have any response just to the report yesterday in the Free Press? Are you worried that situation is going to continue to linger for you?
No, I don't think so. Generally speaking, in fairness to this event and our student athletes, I don't have any comment on that, just due to consistency with our university policy. But again, it's all about our players at this point. We're just trying to get healthy, get our full team back. Obviously, we're not there yet, with some guys with some nagging injuries. We're hoping to get back full go for conference play so that we're able, to do the things we need to do. But I couldn't be more thrilled to be back. I couldn't be more thrilled to now have a couple more home games, after this neutral site game against East Tennessee State and Murray State going into Christmas before we head to the Wisconsin, Green Bay, Milwaukee trip to start Horizon League play.
You said, in fairness to this event, you plan on addressing that report down the road, not at this event?
No, my statement would be simply we have already handled the matter and got it behind us. We're just kind of moving forward, focused on the student athletes in the season.
That said, Bakari, obviously a lot of chatter around the program isn't about what's on the court right now. What is the state overall of Detroit University basketball?
We're in a growth pattern. That's a great question. Our growth is twofold. One of the things that we're looking to do right now in year 2 is to establish, an identity for ourselves basketball-wise on the court. A couple things that I can cite, in terms of off the court, that I'm very, very proud of is 2 back-to-back semesters of 3.0 GPAs as a team and higher. I'm looking forward to seeing what bears fruit when the grades come out next week after finals here. But in addition to that, we just had a great locker room renovation, $250,000 upgrading things there. We had 2 recruits for the first time in my AD's tenure signing recruits in the November period. Kid out of Georgia, Corey Hightower Jr., father was a standout draftee from the NBA, as well as, our young man, out of Columbus, Ohio as well, Adrian Nelson. And so recruiting is going in the right direction. We're making upgrades to our facilities. We have a nice upgraded roster talent-wise from the previous year. Obviously at this point in the season, we're half our wins total from the previous season as well. So the positivity that we have brewing with regards to all of the things that make up a basketball program is in order. Tremendous support from our administration, athletic director, president on down. And now our next steps is producing a product on the floor that we can really be proud of. I'd like for us to be more blue collar, quite frankly. I like for us to be a little bit more gritty defensively. I like for us to be a little bit more disciplined offensively. We're just not there yet, and we have to continue to practice that and build it so that it's sustainable in years to come.
Are you proud of the product that's on the floor right now?
We're a work in progress. We're a work in progress. We're a work in progress. We are not where we need to be defensively yet. We're not where we want to be. And the great thing about what's going on in our locker room right now is that I didn't have to say much after this game. Corey Allen, Cam Chapman, amongst others, had a lot to say about personal accountability and guys needing to kind of step up and really do what's required, because they recognize at this point the practice content in terms of what we do is good. Now we got to go out there and get the job done in the games.
Last question for Coach Alexander.
Bakari, do you have any regret at all, or has this forced you to sort of look internally and how you interact with your guys?
I'm sorry, say that question.
I said, do you have any regret over what's happened the last few weeks, and has this forced you to look internally in any way and how you interact with your team?
Now, again, I have no comment with regards to, what you're suggesting, but what I will say is this. I couldn't be more proud of my staff, our student athletes, and the administration for what we do in Detroit University Athletics as it relates to the development of our young people. and all the different aspects of how we develop our young people, spiritually, socially, academically, as well as the leadership components is something that drives us each and every day. From an athletic standpoint, we got young men that are not only pursuing their dreams through athletics, but we also have them doing, things in the community. It's all about growth. That includes our student athletes, and the folks that lead them.
Does that include coaches too? Growth?
So I'll stick with the statement I just made.
Okay. Thank you, guys.
Thanks so much. Merry Christmas.
Thank you.